Explain. Right. I had no idea. Absolutely no idea.
No flashes, guys, please. Dinesh, you ready?
Okay, cameras ready at the back. Can you give a wave, James? Okay, off you go.
And can you start with the team news? Is everyone fit, and have you looked at the wicket and thought about your team yet?
Yeah, everybody's fit for selection, which is great. A couple of guys have been sick over the last few days, but they pulled up well today. So everybody will train. I have had a look at the wicket yesterday, not today. There's a really nice covering of grass. It looks a really good cricket wicket, which is really good news. I suppose coming to Calcutta, you'd expect it to be have no grass on it, but yeah, it's nice to see a little bit of grass holding it together.
You can see from the press conference room here that this isn't just another game, it is the final. How do you make sure the players treat it as another game and play the opponents, not the occasion?
Yeah, we're quite real about things. We know it's not going to be a normal game. I mean, even the semi-final we've played, there was quite a lot of hype around the expectation of playing in a final, and I want all of our players to embrace it. I mean, tomorrow everything's going to feel a little bit rushed to start with. It's important that we're in a really good frame of mind to slow things down when needed, and more importantly, execute our skills.
And what would it mean to you? What would it mean to English cricket to win this tournament?
I think it would mean a huge amount. I think the strides we've made in the last 12 months in white ball cricket, I think this would be a great reward for, I suppose, the mindset we've showed, the dedication and the hard work we've put in.
You know, in the light of West Indies showing that Gale is not alone the danger man, how do you focus? What is the focus of the team towards it?
Well, even before we played the West Indies in the group stages, I was quite firm in saying that Chris Gale wasn't just the West Indies team. It's important that when you're playing against good sides, you don't focus on one or two good players. It's everybody, because anybody can hurt you. And I think India witnessed that, and everybody watching the game witnessed that with Lendl Simmons' innings.
Yeah, Jason Roy has been an impact player for you this tournament. He didn't have a good series in South Africa. What prompted this turnaround, and what role you and Trevor played in this turnaround?
I suppose it's been probably a couple of things. I think Jason is an extremely positive player and really has grown within the England change room since he started playing with us. I think that the brand of cricket we're playing at the moment really suits his style, and I think a lot of credit has to be given to him, because at no stage, even when he was going through a bad run, did he look to play for himself. He's always played for the team. He's always tried to put in that match-winning performance, and on the big stage it's coming good.
Ewan, going back to your pre-tournament press conference in Mumbai, which where you had said that an India tour can demoralize players because coming here and getting bashed by the subcontinent spinners and the batsmen were always in great form. Looking back now towards the business end of the tournament, what does it feel now? An entire tournament overall.
It's been amazing. We've been treated exceptionally well. The hospitality here has been great. The facilities have been brilliant. I think we've been one of the luckier sides in regards to travel and logistics. We've only been in Mumbai and Delhi before we came here, and everybody's loved it. I think it's been a fantastic tournament to be a part of. There've been a lot of games that have gone down to the wire, which has made things more exciting, even games that with associate nations, which is really good for a game of cricket.
Over this side, right.
Sorry, Dino.
Going back 12 months when you were captain at that World Cup, a very difficult tournament for you personally, I guess. Can you kind of put into words what this means to you as captain to be at a final, you know, a good time for English sport, I guess, Grand Slam winners in rugby and football's doing quite well, and now the cricket team are doing their bit. Can you just kind of contrast the difference between 12 months ago?
Yeah, it's quite a stark difference, and it's hard to believe in some ways. I would have never imagined the turnaround been so immediate or having such an immediate impact. But again, I've always stressed the talent that we have in the changing room and the hard work we do put in. I think the key component within that has been the mindset of the players, the mindset of the backroom staff, and it's rubbed off on everybody. And I think tomorrow the opportunity that we do have is a product of that, and it's very exciting. I don't tend to look back at the World Cup and go, you know what. I'm just very proud, very proud. Yeah.
In here, if you look at the T20 records between the two teams, England and West Indies has an upper hand. That it also includes the last match, the group match that you guys played against each other. So, do you think that will have a bearing on tomorrow's match final?
I don't think so. I think it's two completely different teams, and given, I suppose, that we've grown as a side game on game, I think it's even difficult to compare sides from the first game of the tournament to the final of the World Cup.
And how do you assess your own game?
At the moment, I'd like to score more runs. That hasn't happened. Even get past the first ball. But so hopefully tomorrow I can make a match-winning contribution.
Yeah, on that, Owen, you've not scored runs, as you say, you would have liked as a batsman. How do you feel you've been able to influence the team as a captain?
I think I've drawn on a lot of experience. I think one thing that I like to think that I do is deal with on an individual basis pretty well. And keeping an eye on the guys, how they're travelling, even the guys who aren't playing, it's very important that their contribution and morale around the group is high. Given that we're touring India and a lot of guys haven't been here before, it's important to keep talking about conditions, make sure there's no novelty about anything that I suppose preconceived ideas they came to India about, and I think that's worked well.
2 years ago when you were playing for KKR, this game today would have been a home match, but given the wicket, the grass on the wicket, which we haven't seen at Eden for a long time, does that make it a home game for England anyway?
I think we're far from a home game. I think regardless if it is or not, I back the ability of our players to adapt to any conditions. Even if there was no grass on the wicket, I'd still have a lot of belief within our side that we could go out and put in a match-winning performance.
Will it have a bearing on the team selection?
It might do. I see it's on the cover at the moment. It all depends if any grass has come off.
Could you specifically tell us something about the kind of adaptation the team has made in subcontinent, because no subcontinent team is in the final, so you've obviously done something right. So could you tell us something about the adaptation process?
I suppose when you talk about home conditions here, when you talk about home conditions here and you watch the other group play, that's the sort of preconceived idea I would have come to India with. Slow wickets, not bouncing, turning quite a lot. But the actual teams that came through, New Zealand won every game. They outplayed everybody. They started like a train, and it was a big surprise to me. But certainly the wickets we played on in our group weren't typical Indian wickets.
When start of the event, you would have expected your spin bowlers to take a majority of the wickets, but it has turned out to be the other way around. The fast bowlers win. So did it surprise you? How did it?
I suppose it has surprised me a little bit. I'm thankful that I've reacted to exactly what's been in front of me, and used what's been effective in games as opposed to just sticking with spin the whole time. I think for a long time in T20 cricket, spinners have had a huge effect on the game and have been, I suppose, key components in any success of a side. The game is forever changing. Even from the last World Cup till now, there's been a huge change. I think everybody has witnessed that, and it's exciting for the game. So who knows down the line, seamers might be more effective than spinners.
Hi, Owen. I'm sure you watched the India semi-final against West Indies very closely. Did you spot anything that Indians did not do right, what you will like to take care of here?
I've only watched the highlights. We travelled here right in the middle of that game, so I'm going to watch them this afternoon.
Tim here. Just give him a wave so he knows where he's going. Tim.
Hey Owen, the use of sort of stats and data, has the team used that on this tournament compared to, or not compared to the World Cup a year ago, or was that a red herring in terms of explaining England's amazing turnaround since?
I think with regards to data that's used, it's how effectively it's used and how well your players respond to that. I think our side at the moment, because we're very young, very inexperienced, we sort of only choose to use small bits of data that we think will be effective and actually give the player the freedom in which he's earned the right to come and play for England, to go out and play on the big stage with.
Okay, last two, Jonathan, and then one right at the back there.
Owen, if you wake up tomorrow morning and all the grass is gone and it looks like it's going to be a ranked Turner, would you guys have the guts to give Liam Dawson his England debut in a World Cup final?
Yeah, absolutely. He's bowled brilliantly. He wasn't in the squad in South Africa, but he travelled around with the side, and since he's been here, I think he's come on a hell of a lot, and we'd have no issues giving him a debut if that was the right way to go. Yeah.
Owen, the execution of your side's death bowling, does it give you a bit more confidence going into tomorrow's match?
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's a small ground here. Given that it could be a good wicket, that's going to be a key area for us. And I think the last game, I think we went for 20 runs in 4 overs, 2 from Stokes, 2 from Jordan. I thought they were very clear in the thoughts, and they executed exceptionally well. I think having that in your side is I mean, it's another string to your bow. Not a lot of sides come through having great death bowlers. You look at, I suppose, past champions that stick out, somebody like Lasith Malinga, but since he's been injured in this tournament, nobody's really stood out as a unbelievable death bowlers, but those guys too have for us.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello. Spoons, we'll take all these spoons and sell it. Just waiting for someone. Thank you, thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We thank you for joining us. We appreciate your presence. Relax, relax, relax. Can you please put your phones to silent? Silent does not mean vibrate. Okay, we'll have Darren Sammy with us. He'll address any questions as they relate to tomorrow's game. We appreciate it if you get the microphone and use it, please. Thanks.
Ready, Mike? You want to go there? Darren, in terms of crowd support, West Indies will be the favourite here. But in terms of the wicket, did you take a look at the wicket? In terms of wicket, would you say the same thing? Would it be home advantage?
Yeah, I just want a 22 yards long wicket and 6 feet wide. Whatever they give us, we'll play on it. It's a final. But I've not had a look at the wicket. Maybe later today at practice.
Darren, you made 146 runs in 4s and 6s in the semi against India. Just does having that kind of hitting power, and you still had yourself, Bravo, and Brathwaite to come. Does that kind of hitting power give you the confidence that even if it comes down to say 60 needed in 3 overs or 3.5 overs, you can still pull it off?
I think for the inception of T20, they've been seeing West Indies is a boundary hitting team. So that's no surprise to me. You know, we know the power we have in the dressing room, and it was just excellent to watch. You know, this Simmons and Russell and Charles display that type of batting. You know, boundary hitting against India. You know, and you know it's another match. You know, for us it's one last step in this tournament. And we'll focus on England, and you know, but we more or less focus on us, and we believe if we do what West Indies can do, we'll always be destructive in this format.
Darren, a little less than a month ago, you said at a press conference in this city that we are in it to win it. You are one match away from doing that. In a format as notoriously inconsistent as the T20 can be, you've been a very consistent team. How do you explain, how do you look back on the journey that's been?
It's been a tough journey. A lot happened before the tournament started, and I think, you know, in life I always believe everything happens for a reason, you know, and I think the pre-tournament shenanigans, you know, brought us really closer together as a team, you know. I don't know if you've heard the coach said it, you've heard a few other players say it. It feels like it's us against everybody else, you know. We came here, you know, after winning a tournament in 2012, you know, a hailstorm knocked us out in Bangladesh. You know, the year before, we were in the semi-finals, I think in 09. So it's a format that we've been consistent in, but every year nobody gives us a chance, you know, and you know, all these things brought this team closer together, with the fact that a few of us are getting old now. So we were aware that it could be the last for a few key players for us. So that brought us together, and we formed our own little circle, and we just wanted to take 6 steps. It's a 6 steps process to the cup, and we've taken 5 steps. We took a big one against India. We had a little burn on the skin in the way that knocked us off a bit, but we got up. And yeah, we left with one more step. And we as a group, we believe in each other. We enjoy each other's success. And you know, just thinking about us lifting up that cup tomorrow, you know, I could almost foresee what's going to happen after. But we have a cricket game to play first. England is a very good side. You know, since we've beaten them, they've played really, really good cricket. That's why they're in the finals. So again, I always like cricket to be the winner. But after cricket has taken all the praise, I want West Indies to come out victorious, lifting the trophy.
David has beaten Goliath. Are you still David?
Yeah, we're always David. David is a winner. Yeah, look, even now I still think people don't give us a chance, you know, and I said it, you know, Goliath was big and strong, but David defeated him with a sling and one shot. So yeah, we will always see ourselves as David, and you know, we will play like David, be smart about it, believe in ourselves in the dressing room, believe in each other, and like I've said before, if we do all these things we know we could do with that belief, you know, we're going to lift up the cup. Thank you.
Darren, your coach tweeted after the India game, imagine if this side had brains, which I think he was referring to a comment that was made by somebody before the tournament. And you know, last year, you know, Colin Graves called the West Indies a mediocre side. Why do you think it is that the West Indies particularly struggles, like it gets so little respect as a side?
I think it's the way we've played in Test cricket. Really filters down to the other two formats, you know, and you punish. Is the way our test results, to be fair, has not been really good, you know, and it hurts. It hurts all of us to see a side that once dominated, you know, the arena for 17 consecutive years, you know, but through lack of proper management and structural development, you know, we've struggled over 2 decades. And 2 decades ago, the guys who were playing, they were not playing, you know, and people just paint us as money-grabbing cricketers because of our success in T20 cricket. But yet still they don't respect us in that format. And we get that sometimes from our own boards, you know, and everybody is entitled to their opinion. You guys come and ask the most difficult questions to get a good story. So we understand that, but the key for us is, like I said, is the belief in our own little circle. You know, whatever they say, it don't really matter. And yes, the coach did make that comment. You know, how could you describe people with no brains? Animals got brains. You know what I mean? You know, we're not an object, and to me, that particular comment really set it off for us. You know, you could see me talking about it, and it's kind of emotional, you know, for somebody who I respect. You know, I've always had a good rapport with that particular journalist, and to describe our team, which 2 years ago were defending champions, as you know, we play with we guys with no brains. That's really out of order. And you know, God don't love the ugly. You know, and we were wonderfully and beautifully made. That's why we play exciting cricket. So so for us, all these things that happened before the tournament, you know, that's the drive, that's the passion, you know, that's the determination that we take on the field. And you know, and like I said, it's just one more step to lifting up that cup, and we believe that we could do it.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I know you have a lot of questions as well, but we sort of short on time, so at this stage we can only take 2 more. So we take one from Dean, and then one in the back. Hand was up for a very long time. So we take these last 2, and then we have to go.
Darren, obviously you spoke with quite a lot of emotion there, and clearly there is some real anger underneath the performances. But how do you make sure that you channel that anger and that, I guess, that motivation the right way to produce performances on the field? Because it can be quite easy not to win, not to perform.
Yes, the same way we've been doing all this time. This passion, these emotions, or anger, like you said, of what people have been saying, has always been from the inception of the tournament. And look, we will study. We have studied England. We look at the players. You know, they have a lot of match winners as well. You know, we're not going to take them for granted. But after we've done that, we shift the focus back on us, and the things, the good things we could do. People say, yeah, we don't rotate the strike well. You know, we talk about that, but we know we are a boundary hitting team, and firstly, you got to stop us from hitting boundaries. You know, and that's been a little difficult, you know, for oppositions once we get in that zone. So it's about keeping our feet, our minds in the right direction, because, you know, one of the senior players made a comment in one of our team meetings, you know, whilst we were discussing, I think it was Dwayne Bravo, he said, the only team that could beat us is ourselves. And we believe that. We could only defeat ourselves, because I've been saying it, once we do what we know we could do well, and nobody could beat us. And that's the mentality we're taking forward against England. Thanks.
Darren, England's death bowling, you know, they were splendid in the last match. So is that something you have considered? Is that something you have considered, or like West Indies is too strong, you know, to stop in the death overs?
Oh yeah. Look, like I said, we're not taking anything away from England. They've improved every game, you know, since that defeat to us, you know, and they have their strengths, and it's up to us to come up with a better plan than they execute, you know. And, I just want it to be that exciting match where, you know, cricket is the winner, you know. Eden Gardens is a special place, you know, and it's also a chasing ground as well, you know, and it's that's what you want in a final, you know, two good teams battling it out, fighting for the region, their countries, fighting for different causes in order to win that cup. And they have good death bowling. I think we've bowled really, really well in this tournament as well. And it's going to be a matchup of skill versus skill, and mind power versus mind power. And I know we'll win in the celebration part, you know. But also the most important thing is playing a good brand of cricket that will help you to win. And we have that belief in the dressing room that our brand will make us victorious come Sunday.
Thank you, bro. That was wonderful.